How'd you end up having issues with Gold Toes?
So so Gold Toes and me was cool, right? We was cool when I was in when I first got out. My boy plugged me in with him, Blanco the Bully. You know who that is? Blanco the Bully.
I heard the name.
You're gonna hear his name a lot in the coming months, right? But he plugged me in with him, and I distributed music through him, had some good conversations with him, and then he had posted this thing on Instagram about a movie he was supposedly doing, right? And in the movie, he's and so in this clip, I know it's not the real thing, right? It's a clip of a supposed movie he's doing, right? But he's in an attorney booth with SPM, right? In this clip, and I was like, this is from a biography of your life, right? Autobiography.
Yeah,
right? So I was like, what the is this, bro? And it's all just like this positive thing, like, hey man, you're the shit, and they can't hold you down forever, man, and all this shit, right? Dude's a child molester, right? So I was like, damn, what the so I looked up his case, and because all I knew about was like internet stuff, looked up his case and figured out how to download the case from the court system in Texas. Had that whole bitch on my phone, read it for a while before I even talked to Gold Toes about it. And I was sitting in my car outside the tattoo shop having this conversation with Gold Toes, and he's just like, oh, you don't know it's a government conspiracy. He had too much power in Texas, and right?
I heard people try to make this argument,
And I was like, bro, no. I don't know who the is saying that. That motherfucker got a child pregnant, first of all, regardless of how that circumstance happened. That's terrible, right? And then caught with a couple kids. One girl was touched during a sleepover.
Oh shit.
Right, there was like it's a
pattern.
It's a pattern, brother. And usually for this kind of stuff, what we know about it is where there's smoke, you know what I'm saying? If there's enough smoke, brother, there's probably a real problem. There's probably a fire somewhere.
Especially you been in prison that long. It's like hard and fast rules. So like we can't be flexible about this shit.
With me personally, it's once you're convicted of it, but there's not really too much of a conversation we can have afterwards, right? I'm not going to relitigate it, right, with you over coffee or something. Like, we're going to, you're Chomo, you know what I'm saying? And at the very least, nobody's asking Gold Toes to like punch on him or do anything to him. Just, why are you with this dude? And then if you're with him, why are you promoting this dude? Why are you, and then why is the scene you having this positive ass conversation and also, how the did you get in an attorney booth in the feds, right? Or in the Texas, wherever the that dude's at, you know what I'm saying? How did you get in an attorney booth, right? It's not even the glass attorney booth, like you was in it. Like, how did you do that? I was 23 years in prison. I ain't never seen nobody, no executive, nobody except for an attorney or a cop get in an attorney booth with an inmate. That's just like not a real thing, right? So is that true? That like what part is, that's weird. The whole thing is weird to me, right? So I talked to him about it, and he puts it off and he brushes it off and all this shit. And then he's like, oh yeah. He flies me out to Houston. I talked to him about it. We had this conversation about it, real light conversation about it. But like, he's like, oh yeah, no, I'm just gonna let him tell his story and all this shit. And then I had another conversation with him about it. And then he was gonna address it on a podcast, right? And he didn't, right? You know, it was a full community podcast, right? Where he was like, I'm just gonna let him tell his story. There was that long pause, and then he was like, I'm gonna let him tell his story, right? So he was like, damn, what the homie? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's weird as you know what I'm saying? Like, because when they think of this dude, they think of Northern Hispanics, right? And that's frustrating for Northern Hispanics, right? Because it seems like if you're the guy, you know what I'm saying, then I don't want to be seen like that.
Right.
I don't want to be seen like
I kind of speaks on behalf of the whole community.
Well, that's how he portrays himself, right? Right.
Like people are gonna assume that a lot of the shit that he's saying is stuff that everybody else is on board with.
Right. So if you want to keep being seen like that, there can't really be too much of a conflict, and we're not talking about gangbanging, obviously. Right. We're not talking about any of that stuff. What we're talking about is somebody who built his career on Northern Hispanics, right? And Northern Hispanic music. And it's like, if this is who you've been dealing with all this time, and the Northerners for the most part are like, man, SPM, chumos, right? And then come to find out, the dude he built that Black and Brown with,
the label,
was a fucking convicted rapist, and dude got out of prison and started Black and Brown. That's how that played out.
Who's this other dude?
Green.
Sean Green.
Sean Green.
Oh, okay.
He's the Black and Brown.
Okay.
So we didn't know. We found it by Joe Bob found it.
Yeah.
Yeah. By a whole different, it was like, what the So that shit, man, yeah, I don't know. All that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, damn.
Yeah, and nobody's saying, and then when we tell Toes, he's like, oh yeah, boo, boo, boo. We tell the homies that with him Tub, we're like, man, did you guys know about this? Like, this is weird as They're like, oh yeah, we knew, but nobody was saying that. Nobody was that, right? And so he wasn't like disassociating. He wasn't doing it. So we was like, all right, well, go hang on to that then. You go do that over here. We gonna do this over here. You know what I'm saying?
It's kind of crazy because like I don't know firsthand, but I hear that like in Texas they still bump his music like
that's changing religiously. Yeah, but that's changing though. Like people, there is a contingent of Raza that they reach out to us all the time and are glad we're saying something. You know what I mean? And it's not about SPM. Fuck SPM. It's about the perception of Northern Hispanics, right? Of Raza overall. That we don't accept that shit. That's weird as fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn, so he still has albums coming out like pretty frequently. He does have 1.3 monthly listeners, so somebody's listening to him.
Yeah, I guess. But it's definitely dying. We just dropped something a couple days ago, right?
Was it a couple days ago? Yeah, he has like a song or a If Animals Could Talk album. Well, that's 2025, but still, yeah.
Oh, I just seen something a couple days ago. But yeah, so but it's definitely a lot less than it was for sure.
Yeah. You hear about Jenny 6ix9ine getting attacked by that girl because she was playing SPM?
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't want to hear that shit? Yeah. Weird. I think it's a little much for girls, right, to attack. Right. But if like, man, turn that shit off, right? And then that could turn into something else. But motherfuckers ain't trying to listen to that shit.
Because if it was a modern rapper who got locked up for that, I mean, it would probably be a pretty like universal blacklist. It's only because he got locked up like 25 years ago that maybe people are kind of fuzzy about what his charges were and everything like that. Because I have heard like interviews with people that are around him or friends with him from back in the day who explain his charges in a way that makes you feel like, maybe he got a raw deal. Like when they're saying that like the girl that he knocked up was a stripper. So then you start thinking, well, shit, like if the stripper was underage.
He
like,
went to that girl's school all the time, was still with her.
Yeah, I feel like they're leaving out a lot of details because there's a lot of different people involved.
It's talking points, right? They take the talking points and then they run with that instead of going back and looking at the whole thing. And we see that all the time. People will clip something from us. Like, bro, go look at the whole shit. Yeah. You're not looking at the whole thing. You're taking one small part and you're twisting it and you're creating a narrative. And that's what people were doing with SPM.
Right.
It's taking small clips and things that other people were saying instead of looking at the black and white, instead of going back and watching the trial, because the trial was recorded, right? They have that shit. You can go over in his own words. He said, I pick her up from school. Like, yeah, okay. Like, bro, if you probably go to strip clubs all the time.
No, but
No? But have you been to strip clubs?
Yeah, of course.
If you got drunk at a strip club,
Mhm.
right, and you slept with a stripper, and you found out she was 15, you got a lot to lose, don't you?
Yeah.
Right? What's the first thing you would do?
Man, I don't know.
I'd
Like,
probably
do
go-
you just turn yourself into the cops? Do you go
No.
tell the cops?
I go beat the shit out the owner of that shit,
Okay, yeah.
and then put a lawsuit on him.
Yeah, lawsuit. There
Like,
you go.
bro,
Okay.
you're making you're now I'm over here. I have to deal with all these consequences, legal and what otherwise, because of your actions.
Yeah.
Because you did that. But I don't see no lawsuit to that that strip club. I didn't see him go off and beat the shit out the owner of the strip club.
Yeah.
That would have been the first thing I did.
Because all right, you know how like people get out after doing these long ass sentences these days, and then they get exposed for snitching like a week later because it's like all this renewed interest in that person causes people to actually start digging into their paperwork, or people who have issues with them start. So you could imagine that if SPM did get out of prison like right now, that it would just unleash the floodgates of people making videos and really deciphering every last thing that he was ever charged with. They're gonna find girls who are like 40 years old now to talk about whatever they've been through, etc. So as much as like people in Texas and shit might be able to kind of turn a blind eye to it right now, I feel like if he gets out, that's probably gonna change
But
very
the problem
abruptly.
is that it runs up the numbers, and that's all happening. He's getting enriched, right? Like, so you got this profiting off of the shit that he did.
Right. And why promote the association, right? If you know that there's that weird thing attached to him, right? So that was my issue with Toes, right? And then originally that's what initiated the issue, and then the stuff between the North and the South doing music.
If you enjoyed that clip, make sure you become a member for only $5 a month. It really helps support us, and it also gives you early access to all of our content. Let's go.